The police investigation into the SNP's financial corruption has reached a whole new level, as the police are now looking for burner phones, SIM cards, and many other dodgy items. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorns ready. This is going to be fun. Okay, as we know, the last few days we've had some ups and downs when it comes to the SNP's investigation and the scandals. They thought that they could have a peaceful weekend. Oh, take a break, guys. No. Nicola Sturgeon, Humza Yousaf, Peter Morrell, many others. They are still in trouble. The whole saga is turning into a TV show. And actually, you could make a very, very good Netflix show on this because they are acting like they are the mafia. They are, at this point, the sort of things that are happening, allegedly for legal reasons, is the sort of behavior you see from organized crime. Now, the police are stepping up their game and they're giving us a list of the certain items that they are now searching. It started with the camper van, which happened to be somehow on Peter Morrell's mother's driveway for some reason, even though it belonged to the SNP. That aside, we now hear that the police are searching for these items: burner phones, SIM cards, Lockstreet pens, whatever that means. We have designer pots and pans, fridge, freezer, jewelry, basically anything that you can buy using other people's money. Why not? So we also have some other updates later on today because certain senior SNP figures have also received a secret salary top-up on top of what they get from the taxpayers' money from the party. The SNP as a party also gave them some extra money secretly without telling anyone. So good luck, all the people at the top of this Titanic. We've got the police source saying that something that we're looking for is SIM cards used in unregistered mobile phones. They want to know the numbers connected with these cards, which could also contain numbers called and text messages. It's not uncommon for people to have unregistered mobile SIM cards, really? Okay, which can be bought from any shop. There is nothing wrong with having a so-called burner phone, but police want a record of these phones in the SNP. Okay, so I understand the concept, but in 2023, grown-up adults who are operating inside the political system, I do think it's uncommon for people not to have a normal monthly mobile contract. Yes, there will be some across the country, apart from the drug dealers and criminals, there will be some who just don't want their phones to be registered. But are you really telling me that these senior politicians and officials in the SNP, there were enough of them to also have unregistered phones, burner phones basically? I don't know, I just can't believe that. But we got senior SNP source telling us that the party is facing a real financial crisis. Oh, I'm glad they changed the tune again, because every day the line changes. One day they have no money, the next day the books are balanced, and now they are facing a real crisis. And they said, even if an auditor is found, having accounts signed off anytime soon is not going to be easy. Yeah, they are going to miss the deadline at this point. This senior source said that they will also likely be looking to charge a six-figure sum given the forensic job that will need to be done. Oh, yeah, and the potential for reputational damage. Increasingly, people are thinking the unthinkable in terms of the party being on the brink of not being able to function financially. I can't imagine there were people queuing up to take the job of treasurer, let's put it that way. That's the thing. If you don't meet that deadline, SNP, then the whole house of cards will definitely collapse. So I'm excited. All right. We actually had also a former SNP official and councillor called Chris McElhenney, who said the party targeted him after he asked the party officials and Nicola Sturgeon at the time in 2019 where the money was. And apparently, Nicola Sturgeon, at the time the party leader and First Minister, managed to shut down any discussion, which we call a cover-up. It is a cover-up. Now, this guy said, I had raised a motion at NEC asking for an inquiry into leaks because it was becoming draining. seeing leaks about me trying to damage my character because I'd be asking questions about finances. Nicola threw everything against that inquiry being allowed to take place. She threatened me and others that we'd have to hand our mobile phones over to be checked. We'd have to give access to our email accounts to see who was behind these leaks. So you had Nicola Sturgeon and her senior team going around forcing people to hand over their phones and their private emails and everything. That is also a little bit illegal, guys. You can't do that in a workplace, but it's not even a workplace. It's a political party. And he was a councillor. So he left the party. He joined the Alaba party with Alex Salmond in 2021 because he had enough. And I fully understand it. Now, McClenny said in 2019, out of the blue, obviously that was the Yes campaign, the independent campaign, was being rebranded and a new fundraiser was launched. When this happened, it made me question what happened to the money from the last fundraiser. So I started asking these questions, and of course, everybody else kicked off. Colin Beattie, who was the treasurer, also kicked off. But he wasn't actually at the meeting, but afterwards he kicked off alongside Peter and Nicola. They were all aware, he says, that I had concerns, and their opinion was that none of these questions could be answered because the treasurer wasn't there. Oh, okay. So Nicola says she had no idea. The former councillor said, I went from being part of the fixtures and fittings of the party, a senior councillor who stood for deputy leader, to finding myself being blocked at vetting processes, struggling to put myself forward as a candidate for Holyrood and having intense briefing campaigns against me, all because I asked a couple of questions. This is genuinely the sort of behavior you see in organised crime, as I said. This is not a serious political party. And it's about time the whole thing obviously gets exposed. It took us how many years? I think on this channel we've been talking about the SNP crisis and all these scandals for the past at least 2-3 years. And when the initial police investigation started, and when the saga with Alex Salmond and Nicola Sturgeon happened, everybody made jokes. They said, oh, you guys are tinfoil hat nutters. Nothing's going to happen. Nicola Sturgeon respected, and the SNP will take Scotland out of the UK and join the EU, which is very confusing as a concept. But anyway, it is what it is. Let's take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget, it's St. George's Day. Try not to get too doom and gloomy with all the news updates. Well, watch my videos, but nothing else afterwards. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.